What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dig It podcast. I'm your host, Drew Walsh, and today we got Russell Reeder in the house, a co-founder of CoachIQ, which is a digital platform or a tool for private sports coaches to help run their business. And I am one of the private sports coaches that you guys serve, and that's partly why the reason you guys are on here, because I think it's just such an important tool for a lot of the fitness professionals, coaches, private sport coaches to start to learn what resources are out there, because at least I can speak for myself. I learned baseball, I learned kinesiology. I had to learn business backwards. All right. So this is where you guys come in so clutch for someone like me who is trying to grow their private sports business, but needs a little help on the business side and how to run an efficient business. And you guys offer so many different tools that I can't wait to start to talk about. And it's funny because this all happened because you reached out, I guess, on Instagram. You DM me and were like, "Hey, I got this platform. I think it'd be really beneficial." And I'm sitting there rolling my eyes like, yeah. Like I bet, right? So I was like, you know what? He was a former athlete. Like, let's get on a phone call with him. And long story short, I wound up calling Russell, and we just had a conversation. And 8 months later, I'm still using their product. I think it's awesome. I'd recommend it to anyone who runs a private sports coaching business. And that's why we have you on today. Russell, welcome to the Dig It podcast, man. If you could just introduce yourself and what is Coach IQ?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me and thanks for the intro. That was super kind. It's been a pleasure working with you and getting to know you. Another really cool aspect of it too is I saw you were local too. So I actually grew up in San Diego. I love getting coaches or working with coaches also in San Diego. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm a former college athlete from UC Davis. I've always been obsessed with sports and software, which is what led me to Coach IQ. Once I was done at Davis, I got right into building software. Started actually a different company, and then took a lot of learnings from that, grew from that, and took that all into Coach IQ. And here we are now. We've been working on the company for about 3 years, and super fortunate to work with a bunch of people like yourself from all across the country. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into the podcast and thanks for the intro.
Absolutely. So just let's circle back on that. Another reason why I just think it's going to be awesome to talk to you. You're a former athlete, all right? And I think a lot of listeners here were either athletes or coach athletes. And, when that day stops, when your ticket's punched and the game, whatever sport you play, is over, it's tough. Like it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also super exciting, turning the chapter and beginning a new one. The game of life is just this massive game that you now have to figure out how you fit within it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, right? You've always been involved in software. Was that a passion for you, or you're just good at it?
It's really funny. It was just something I feel like it's weird to say, but like just born with. I was just always obsessed with building things and building software. I built my first
I can't
application when
say the same.
yeah. Um, and I come from a family where like everyone, my family, my friends, they actually work in real estate. So I had influences and pushes to go elsewhere, but just always loved the software. I love the idea that I could build something and scale it and reach, millions and millions of people. So yeah, I was just always drawn to it. And then my love of sports just drew me into building software that also, I was a customer for, understood at a very deep level.
Yes, and I think on that call, I just felt the relevancy there. Like I'm talking to a former athlete, and you had your own private coaching business, or still do. What do you, right?
Oh yeah, I mean in the early days of starting the
Early days. How old are you? You're young. I don't want early
yeah
days.
yeah, I'm 29, so I graduated in 2017. So yeah, still young. I appreciate you saying that.
Same.
Um,
You're close enough to
yeah,
me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so in the early days of building the software, building Coach IQ, we actually ran our own private sports coaching business. I think some of the most successful software companies understand and know their customer at such a deep level. We're all former college athletes who actually started the company, but we kind of wanted to take it a step further. Not only have working with private sports coaches our whole lives, we wanted to actually start one so that we could understand the pains and problems of working with parents, scheduling, payment, all that good stuff. And yeah, it was incredibly beneficial, helped us build a much better product and just understand everything at a super deep level.
Speaking of that, if you had to take one takeaway from your previous business, you mentioned there was, a lot of, I'm sure, successes, but obviously failures. That's why you're here today, because you're successful and you were okay with failing and you just become more efficient in your processes. What looking back, we'll measure backwards real quick on your first business. Like, what's one takeaway that you took into the next chapter of your life that's allowed you to be more successful?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've had multiple that have failed actually, and that's probably the advice I would give is, I learned the most from doing. So, anyone, any coach in particular listening to this, or anyone listening to this, just you gotta put in the time and go learn by doing. So, don't put it off because you feel like you need to go learn X, Y, and Z. Kind of jump head first and get it rolling. And the quicker you can learn and adapt, then the better you're going to be. And there's so many carryovers to being a great athlete, right? Great athletes do the same exact thing. How quickly can they hear what a coach is telling them, implement it, and test it, and then apply it to their game. So it's the same thing with starting a business or starting a coaching business. It's how hungry are you to go learn? You can learn anything you want online now, so it's all applicable. And that would be my one thing of advice.
That's absolutely gold right there. And it kind of piggybacks the last little podcast or segment I did, just talking about failure. And like, it's just a perspective on how you want to look at it. So, in baseball, it's obviously a lot of failure that you have to deal with. And you could just chalk it up to a character building day. So in life, right, you have to learn how to fail to optimize to move forward. But it takes a great deal of confidence to fail and then try something different, as long as you don't perceive failure as your identity, right? Like, it's just a part of the process and your journey to be great. And I love that. And I think a lot of coaches, I think what I'm hearing is a lot of coaches in the beginning, like, I don't know what to post, or I don't have anything to say, or I'm too picky. Everything for me has to be perfect. I only know that because I've been there. That was me in the beginning. Every post had to be perfect. Everything had to look great. And then you get to a point where, like, it's just got to be good enough. Just got to be good enough because I need to get it done, because I need to listen to my audience and see what they're saying, right? Like, it could even be bad. Like, just get it out. And I talk to coaches now. I'm like, just start, dude. Just start
Totally.
posting stuff. Just get stuff out there. If it doesn't stick, your audience will let you know. If it does, they'll let you know, and you adjust, just like an at bat. I love that. And I think so many people have so much to say. They're just scared to put themselves out there because of their ego. And that's something, as an athlete and just a working professional, you got to work through. And I think you do that by doing, like you said. So, all right,
100%.
let's start talking about Coach IQ. Let's start getting into, it's a tool for private sports business coaches to run their business. Elaborate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so as a private sports coach, and as we do with you, you have a lot of moving pieces. Website, collecting payment, talking to parents, all that good stuff. So there's the software aspect and the running the operations and streamlining the operations. So we built a software that allows you to do that in one seamless location. So there's that aspect of it, and then the other huge piece is, with working with so many private sports coaches, is how do you actually run your business regardless of the software? How do you charge for your training? How do you get the most time back? How do you and then deliver the most value to these athletes? And that's like something I'm super passionate about, and why I love doing this too, is obviously love building the software, but for every coach that I feel like I work with, or chopping it up with you on a Zoom call on how we can improve your business, we're then in turn not only making you more money, but also um, ideally changing the athletes that you work with. You're changing their lives for the better. So that's exactly what we do. We wanna come in, talk to a private sports coach. Ideally, our all-in-one software can help them run their business, but what we spend a lot of time with is education on how to price your business, and how to properly, deliver the most value in coaching to your athletes. And I can talk a lot more on the problems that we see, and come across, and even that you and I experienced when we first started working together. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Love that. And I think let's talk if you have a few problems that, you're on a lot of calls with clients and prospective clients. What are some of the biggest problems, reoccurring problems you hear from them? Because I'm sure some of the listeners have those as well, whether in their business or, just the day to day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, specifically for baseball and softball coaches, the number one thing that I would say, if you could take away from our learnings, is it's just the fundamental idea that the way that baseball and softball coaches, they structure their business, they're kind of trading time for dollars. And a parent comes and says, "I want to work with you," and the coach just says, "Okay, yeah, just pick whenever and come whenever." And that's a losing strategy right off the bat. You don't want to design your business around a pay per session model, because you don't really know when the athlete's going to come again. And we're believers that you can deliver a lot more value to the athlete. So you want to run a subscription training business, where you can lock these athletes in over time, get them to come back to you in a reoccurring manner, so you can develop them over time. And then when they're on that subscription, now you actually have the opportunity to deliver more value outside of the field or court to them. And this also helps a ton with the stuff that you guys are probably already doing and not being compensated for. So anytime a parent reaches out about recruiting, anytime a parent reaches out about, all these million different things, personalized questions they ask you guys about because you are their go-to person, you're not being compensated about for that at all. So that's the one of the biggest problems we see and help coaches fix is how to move away from selling their own time, and get them in a subscription business model that allows them to help the athlete more, help their business more, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Love that. And just full circle, like the days of digital involvement in our business and social media platforms and communication, like it's everything. It's so pivotal that, like, I understand some people will say, I hate being on my phone. I don't like Instagram. I don't like social media. There's a lot of blah. There's a lot of ugliness. I understand that. And you can go walk outside and there's the same thing. So it's just a matter of your ability to use the tool really well. And that's the biggest thing I love about Coach IQ is you guys are so intertwined with social media and digital relevance that I'm just so enthralled with it, because you guys build a website, which is almost just like a landing spot for consumers to go to figure out what you offer. And then the rest of your business is almost built through that. It's like a funnel system into all this amazing stuff that you're trying to spread anyway. So for the listener, think about the second biggest thing, might be the first, that I love about Coach IQ is, I think, Instagram, we post a lot on F.A.S.T development. Like, we don't care. Like, some people are like, hey, why do you post so much? Why are you giving away? First off, like, we all steal from everybody. And then once you start building your own recipe, I don't care. Like, I know how to cook it, right? Like, I know what recipe, what ingredients to put in. Like, you need to be with me to understand how we're getting to where we're going. I'm going to post as much as I can. And I don't mind. Just take it. But coming back to you guys is within that Coach IQ app, I'm training Russell. Russell could take the video that I extracted through Coach IQ, or I put on Instagram, and then he could take a video of himself executing that drill or whatever it may be and put it back in the app. That's where I think this app is so special too, because if you just do a drill and I never see you do a drill and you tell me you're doing it good and you have no questions, I'm going to assume you're efficient at it, right? And we move forward. But what this app allows you to do is really sit there and look at the user, the infielder, going through about whatever skill it is, and then being able to see like, oh, okay, this is what's actually in front of us and what we need to do to execute for you to progress. I think that's just like sets you apart from the other apps, and I love that so much.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so what about there was a big issue of pricing. I heard you say pricing earlier. What are
Mhm.
some of the biggest issues you hear with pricing? I think that's a big topic, and it's really subjective.
Yeah, definitely. So it obviously depends where you train, and how many athletes are coming to you for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, our what we've learned for baseball and softball coaches, as far as pricing strategy is what we like to call a Costco membership. So for anybody who's unfamiliar, if you shop at Costco, you need to first purchase the membership in order to even go into Costco. And that's the same exact way that you guys should be designing your business as a private baseball coach. If you want to come work with me, I have a base subscription that you subscribe to. And then once you subscribe to that subscription, now you can come schedule sessions with me as you see fit. And I'll walk through what this does and why it's beneficial. So one, you want to figure out a way to only work with clients who are actually committed and going to come back to you. The subscription locks that athlete in for that level of commitment. One. Two, you want to be compensated and you want to deliver value to the athletes outside of just your infield work. So, Drew, you brought up a great example. You like to do video analysis with your guys. So, Coach IQ has video analysis built in. Well, how would you charge for that if you were doing pay per session? You couldn't really do that. It's part of your subscription now. So if I come and work with you as a baseball coach, it's part of my Costco membership. I'm going to get one video analysis a month or two video analysis a month. And I get all the in-person sessions that I schedule with Drew. And I'm only allowed to schedule those because I'm on that subscription. So that is the pricing strategy that we see be most successful. And then it's not just video analysis. You as a coach can layer in all of the value that you see fit. Some of the best coaches that I work with layer in recruiting help, strength and conditioning, nutrition. So, imagine this experience where I'm a baseball athlete and I come to a baseball coach. One baseball coach does pay per session. I show up and he's like, "Hey, it's $100 for a session, and purchase as many as you want. I hope I see you again." Okay, cool. He has no additional value. He only delivers value on the court or on the baseball field. Trainer number two, I go to, and they're running a Costco membership, and now I get access to. I have the subscription, and because of the subscription, you can even lower your pay per session rate because you have reoccurring revenue and you're getting revenue from the clients in that other area. But I go to that trainer, and now I'm able to access his own digital platform that has nutrition, recruiting. I get video analysis. I basically get access to him 24/7. I'm getting a better experience. I'm it's more of a streamlined experience as well. Like I know when I'm going to see my coach again. Um, it's just a tenfold experience. And then the best part about all this is it's also a tenfold for your bank account and your business. You get reoccurring clients, you get reoccurring revenue, predictable revenue. So it's just a huge win for everyone. But that's the pricing strategy that we've learned, and I would recommend to anybody. I've done this with 1,000+ coaches now. We're really large in basketball, but we do have some really great baseball and softball testimonies, Drew being one of them. But that's what I would recommend more than anything is, I would structure your business as a Costco membership. You force your clients to subscribe. You deliver as much value as humanly possible outside of the baseball field, and then they can come and schedule as many times as they see fit within the month.
Love that. And just to be quite frank, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here, you coaches. Like I'm working towards this. Russell will tell you the noisy. I'm like, He's trying to get me to fully transfer to it, and I believe in it. It's a matter of like back to the, you've done things a certain way and you're like, oh, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But there's when the different perspective and lens look at it, you're like, maybe it is broke. Maybe it is broke and I need to fix it a little bit. And Russell's brought a lot of value in opening my eyes and insight to see what's possible there. Awesome, man. So what other bigger tools for baseball and softball? I know there's the video analysis built in. What are some other really good tools for a baseball, softball, any coach or parent, if they're using it, that you guys offer?
Yeah, so I mean, we have all the base features in our platform for you as a private baseball coach to run your business. So we collect money online. We have built-in SMS, so you can have your own business phone number in our platform. A bunch of other messaging features. Anything you can think of that you do right now. We have the website builder as well. So anything as a baseball coach on the operations side that you do or need to run your business, we have that in the app. And then for the parents and the athletes, our athlete facing app allows you as a coach to share all of your knowledge and content in video form. And then we have the video analysis, so you can do video review, and we have a nice interactive inbox for the parents and athletes to message you in one spot, send video to you in one spot. Very clean and simple on the athlete parent side, very powerful on the coach's business side would be my summary.
Love that. And I just to piggyback, very user friendly, very simple.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty black and white. I've used several apps before where I'm like Googling words. I'm like, I don't know what this means. There's no way my 9-year-old client does as well. I was waiting a while to get you on this podcast because I think you just bring a lot of value as a human and a working professional, and just hearing your story as an athlete turn to a professional, but also just understanding you had a passion, right, for software, and a passion for blank is for anybody. Like, you fill in that blank. If you're passionate about something with this day and age, especially digitally, there is a plethora of ways to create a business that you're happy and excited about, because anything you do is going to be a grind. So you might as well like that grind, because if you don't, it's just going to become more and more gruesome of a grind that we're not trying to achieve. And I was reading a book and they said something I thought was pretty special. It's like, hey, how long are you going to be dead for? A grandpa asked the grandson, how long are you going to be dead for? And the grandson's like, I'll be dead forever. He's like, exactly. You won't be alive forever. So enjoy what the heck you're doing now while you are alive, right? Like, find your passion, do it. And I think, Russell, you embody that, and I love that. For the
Appreciate
coaches, of course, my man. For the coaches, where can they find you? Or parents, where can they find you if they're intrigued? I forgot to mention, you guys offer 2 days a week on live coaching. Like, I can call you up once a week and just say, hey, Russell, I have a problem with this, or Russell, what are you learning the past 2 weeks? It just as a business to business conversation. It doesn't always have to be about the app. So I think that's another really big value offer you guys add for free. Coaches, just so you know that. Yeah. So where can they find you?
Yeah, definitely. So, we do office hours for all of our coaches at CoachIQ. I love that, and it's really great to stay close with our customers. But yeah, if you're working with us, you basically get a 15-minute time slot. You can come in and talk to any one of our reps who you're working with, and just talk about anything you need. It could be the software, or it could just be pricing strategy or business strategy, or what our other coach is doing. The coaches have taken advantage of that, have done exponentially better. But yeah, no, that's a great additional thing that we do. And then as far as where you can find us, I mean, just Coach IQ on Google, or coachiq.io, right in your domain. So those two areas, you can find us there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Russell. We'll have you back on for part 2 soon. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.